It's been a rough week for James Gunn's new DC universe because despite the pomp and circumstance, the pushing by the mainstream media of Superman when it was released at the box office this summer, despite so many James Gunn sycophants and people in the media telling you that this is going to be a $1 billion movie, at the bare minimum, it's going to hit $800 million. That was clearly not the case. It ended just over $600 million worldwide. And although it was the highest grossing superhero movie of the year in 2025, when superhero movies all lost money at the box office, that's basically like being the tallest midget. And now, after reports surfaced of exactly how much Warner Brothers lost at the box office when it came to this movie, because of the massive production budget and the marketing budget on top of that, we then saw that Peacemaker, James Gunn's favorite project that he's ever done, the thing that sets up so much for the future of the DC universe, didn't exactly sit well with fans as the ratings crashed and burned. A massive fall off from the first season, despite using Superman to promote this show. Well, maybe we're finding out why exactly so many people didn't turn HBO Max on to watch Peacemaker. It's because they didn't exactly turn it on to watch Superman either. Now, DC Film News, who's constantly pushing good, positive things about DC, they put out this little celebration post. Superman debuts at number 4 on Nielsen's streaming movie top 10 after just 3 days on HBO Max. And you notice here that they decided not to include the minutes watched for Superman, which is how Nielsen determines these ratings. Well, there might be a reason for that, because the truth is, when you look at the numbers and you look at where Superman is sitting on their streaming service, it's actually worse than Black Adam in terms of the number of people that decided to tune in. James Gunn's Superman flops on HBO Max, trails Black Adam and Marvel. That's right, those other Marvel movies that sank at the box office that were released on Disney Plus performed better than Superman. Black Adam, which was a huge failure from the box office perspective, made somewhere around, $450 million worldwide. That debuted significantly higher than Superman on the very same streaming service. And a couple years ago, back before they had as many subscribers, this is wild. Nielsen data confirms what many suspected, that James Gunn's Superman didn't fly high on HBO Max. The film generated 513 million minutes of viewing over its first 3 days on the platform, ranking number 4 on the movies chart, and failing to break into Nielsen's overall top 10. And you can see it's down below K-Pop Demon Hunters, which is still performing very well, which has been out for forever. Ice Road Vengeance. Elio, which was released 1 day earlier than Superman, by the way. Elio's new on this list as well. Let's keep this in perspective. Elio, which was released on Disney Plus, that is a movie that only made $150 million at the box office. Massive, huge financial failure for Disney. And that edged out Superman. To be as fair as we possibly can, Elio did have an extra day on there, where if you break down the per day, I'm sure Superman probably just edged out Elio, but there you have it. I mean, there's Superman. Now, that 513 million minutes watched, why is that important? Well, because Captain America Brave New World, huge financial failure. Thunderbolts, financial failure for Marvel at the box office. Both of them from earlier this year when released on Disney Plus had a higher per day average and higher total period than did Superman. So, and you can compare HBO Max and Disney Plus. Disney Plus is about 57 million US subscribers. HBO Max is about 55 million. They're basically identical in terms of the number of people subscribed. So you can't make that excuse that, well, Disney Plus just has way more subscribers. That's why this is happening. No, it's not. And if you really want to get to the nitty gritty, it's Black Adam, which is the real comparison. You know, Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam, you know, the hierarchy in the DC universe was about to change. Well, then it did change as they went a completely different direction, hired James Gunn, got rid of Dwayne Johnson and all the stuff that they had planned. That had more people watching. Perhaps the bigger story, and adding to the continued embarrassment for Gunn's new DCU, Superman performed worse than Black Adam, the film that was branded a flop when Gunn took over DC Studios. Nielsen reported that Black Adam had 632 million minutes watched during its first 3 days on HBO Max, a stronger opening than Superman, despite the negative press surrounding Dwayne Johnson's movie. And that is the same time period. 3-day window on Nielsen, on HBO Max, and Black Adam, by over 100 million minutes watched, beat out Superman. So this is why when you look back at these things, when you look back at the way Superman was talked about by people in the press, and especially by people on social media, it's hard for me to imagine, especially in the aftermath of everything we've witnessed in the superhero realm, what we've seen from Disney shills, what we've seen from, DC superhero shills, whatever you want to call it. Same thing when Flash came out. You had all of these people out there. It's hard to imagine there's not some form of compensation, whether that is just purely, hey, we're going to invite you to our premieres. We're going to give you access to these interviews, whatever it may be. There was such what it seemed artificial push to Superman. And even though every step of the way it underperformed at the box office, has now underperformed on streaming, there is a denial of sorts from the James Gunn sycophants out there, and I get it. If you genuinely like this movie, I understand. You want it to be as successful as possible. You want to spin it as successfully as possible. I didn't hate Superman. When that came out, I spoke about it, and I said quite clearly that I thought it was mid. I gave it a 4 out of 10, which I guess is just slightly below mid, but still in the mid realm. Didn't hate it, didn't love it. I thought there were so many missed opportunities. I thought it was chaotic. I thought it was messy. I thought if they had just let some of these opportunities breathe, maybe it could have had a chance. I thought some of the castings were great, but the movie just did not work for me. That's what I said back then. And here you are. Despite all the preaching, despite all the pushing for this movie, despite people's insistence that it's just a huge, massive success financially, it's going to be huge, it's going to be bigger than anything ever, it's just quite simply not the case when you break down these numbers. When you look at the box office numbers and you realize it didn't break even theatrically, even with the numbers that Warner Brothers claims are the real budgets, even though they've lied about those in the past. I mean, look no further than The Flash. When they told us the budget was $200 million, it turned out to be over $300 million. This is a common thing for them. And Disney, right? We talk about Disney lying about their budgets and then, oh, wait, it was filmed in the UK. We just found out these tax things came out. Oh, they actually spent way fucking more than they told us. This happens all the time. And all of this stuff is piecing together the reality that despite the insistence from some people that James Gunn's Superman was a smash hit, it's undeniable. It just isn't. And now your debut on the streaming service, an early debut on the streaming service, by the way, that James Gunn promised wouldn't happen for Superman, that falls well short of even something like Black Adam, which didn't make nearly as much at the box office and was a flop, undeniably a flop, despite the spin we had at the time, was a financial failure for them. That beats out Superman, which supposedly was just a huge smash hit that everybody adored and everybody loved. Doesn't quite make sense, does it? Until you realize the reality that Superman's just kind of mid. And that's how most people felt about it. What do you guys think about this? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.